Did you know 13% of users in this world would pay up to 50% more for your products or services if they know that your brand is creating an impact in this world? Also, 86% shoppers prefer a brand who's authentic and is continuously active on social media. Not just that, 89% of shoppers stay loyal to one brand if their interaction with the brand before was amazing. These numbers prove one thing, that brand personality is an important aspect of your brand, which requires some careful initiatives and a step-by-step thought process. Let's try and understand what is a brand personality, how is it important for your brand, how can you build it up from one step to the another, and how is this brand personality going to help you in the long run game. Brand personality is the quality that the users trying to look up to in a particular brand and they feel more comfortable and relatable in nature. When you describe a personality, you'll end up using certain terms like fun, funky, trustworthy, disappointing, amazing, reliable. All of these terminologies classify that human being's personality. Well, when you tend to use these terminologies for your brands, eventually a brand personality is created. And that's the reason why brands are looking out for human touch and personal touch. It's looking out for a personality so that a user can feel empathetic on the other side, that this is not just a brand communicating with me. However, it's a human being on behalf of the brand communicating with me. There are certain things that we need to keep in mind while creating personality-related strategy. The process of brand personality creation involves immediate attraction of audience by evoking the feeling of comfort, reliability, or respect. It also includes making the future target audience familiar with your brand. This segment of audience is just near to your primary set of audience. And lastly, repelling all those consumers who don't relate to your brand at all and they are not your set target audience. Brand personality helps in easing the communication with your consumers. The consumers observe their own traits, the traits that they possess, and they try to relate with the traits of the brand. What happens over here is an emotional connect is created between the brand and the consumer. Brands too have personalities. The way people feel is the way they react to a brand. The way people feel is the way they relate to a brand. Levi's is a casual brand. It behaves cool in front of the consumers. The personality of a brand makes it comfortable for the youngsters to interact with the brand and feel connected with an emotional bond. Let's try and understand brand personalities with real-life examples. Nike, with the tagline "Just Do It," has an active lifestyle. It is really cool as a personality and is forever inspiring their consumers. Whereas Hallmark is highly respectable, warm, and welcoming as a brand and is being respected amongst the families in the world. On the contrary, Harley-Davidson is a macho, rebellious, America-loving, adventurous kind of personality. Lastly, Rolex has a solemn, stable, luxurious, and an enriching kind of personality to which a user feels an aspirational value to actually have that product. These are the various types of brand personalities that you need to keep in mind. Who you are needs to be defined before launching your brand or product in the market. A lot of brands are in the practice of changing the way they communicate or change the tone after the launch is made. To be efficient, it's extremely crucial for you to decide who your target audience is, what are the entrusting core values that you possess that you would like your users to be inculcated with, and the reason what you stand for and why you stand for. Remember one thing, you are in a business of not just selling your product or a service. You are here to sell your brand. While understanding your target audience, it's really important for you to understand what they like about you and what they like when you are communicating to them. When the two-way process is being understood, it becomes really easy for you to produce content that could be relevant for them, and that's why they could start interacting with your brand. If your brand provides unique perspectives to the users, they'll start loving your content and eventually Be updated with whatever you are publishing towards that set of users. The next step, and one of the most vital steps in creating a brand personality, is choosing the voice of your brand. In other terms, it's really important for you to set a brand tone. Is your brand serious or is your brand funny? Is your brand luxurious or is your brand simple? Is your brand futuristic or is your brand about being in the present? It really depends upon the way you communicate with your users, the way you set your tone, and the way you let your users communicate back with you. Your step, your tone will determine how your users are going to respond to you. In case if you're wondering, how should I set my brand tone? Always think of a subtle approach. You can be funny and professional at the same time. You can be sarcastic and non-insulting at the same time. Crafting your message is the nuts and bolts of your brand personality. This is the space where the interaction actually happens. And it's really important for you to understand what to post, when to post, how frequently to post, and all these factors definitely play a role over here. Imagine yourself scrolling on social media and you come across an interesting creative. It holds your attention for about 3 seconds. Yes, 3 seconds is also quite a great amount of time. On social media, when our minds are ficklish in nature, when we are trying to scroll on it, there's a chance we may not like certain things. Hence, it becomes really crucial for the brand to have right fonts, alignment, designs, and attractive copies or attractive text in order to withhold the attention of the user. Just a small piece of advice for all of you. Try to be authentic and avoid gimmicks. Now that you've worked so hard to meticulously create the ideal brand personality and that content which is going to be suitable for your target audience, you should always think about how can you be more consistent towards your users. Consistency is the gradual key for success. If you're consistent towards your users in terms of delivering your content and having your brand personality and tone conveyed to the users on the regular basis, people will feel your brand as legit. If you make any sudden changes, there's a chance users may not find it appropriate enough, and that's why they may feel something is off. Let's say if you're a luxurious brand and you start producing content which is meme oriented or something that is not aligning with the goals of your organization, there is a chance that your entire strategy will derail. Just in case, if you are worried that if this particular set of content is going to work or that particular set of content is going to work, there's a strategy that we use in our digital marketing and it's called A/B testing. You can have two set of content, two set of personalities or two set of tones going out at the beginning, and you can see to which one are the users responding. If it's happening, bingo, you're good to go. After everything is said and done, you should be looking out for your users' feedback. Why am I giving so emphasis on users' feedback? Whatever you create is not going to be loved by everyone. There are users in this world who may not like your content. It's okay. That doesn't mean you should feel bad about it. However, if there is a major chunk of people who are not liking your content, that basically means something is going off. Your brand tone or your brand personality is not going in the right alignment with the user's expectation. If that's the case, we need to revisit our strategy. Just in case if you're thinking, how can I understand what people are thinking about me? Ask for reviews. Respond to both positive and negative reviews. Take suggestions from people. Understand what their expectations are. Write back to them. Empathize with what they are trying to convey to you. And that will help you receive a qualitative feedback which will help you alter your brand personality requirements. In conclusion, setting up a brand personality will define how do you communicate with your consumers, how are your employees supposed to behave in front of the consumers, what kind of content is supposed to be delivered from your end towards the consumers, the overall experience that you deliver to your consumer, right from he trying to know your brand till the last point of actually exiting from the system as a consumer, and to even retain him as a long-term future customer. All of these aspects lead to a brand experience. In order to be truthful, it should match up the expectations of the user. If it's happening, then your brand personality is going in the right direction. You need the right balance and the right traits in order to make your brand uniquely feel like your brand.